Or wireless connect. Oh. Hello.
Hi there, it's us. We got a fancy little
Isn't
banner.
this adorable? This was made by the lovely and talented Rebecca Poole. So,
But here we are now.
yes.
Here
and
we are.
look what we did, you guys. Sarah is so smart that she printed it out in reverse so that you can read it, and it's not backwards.
Yeah, right.
At
Actually,
your
Rebecca did that. I'd like to take credit, but
at
Rebecca
your suggestion.
did
So
that. At my yeah.
yes,
Okay.
Yes. I was just gonna say it only took us 3 weeks to remember to do that. So there you go.
There we go.
Yes.
Okay.
We got
and the
people joining
lovely
us
and the
already.
lovely Kerrigan is with
And
us.
Denise Rand, who you've known. Oh, it's gorgeous. Thank you, Denise.
So hi guys, and welcome to this is our third time.
Third time.
Two blondes on books.
Yes.
And still blonde, funny enough, still talking about books.
Yes.
And this week we are talking about paranormal romance.
We are.
Oh, before we get there, I just would like to say that bear with us. This is live feed. So if my
Yes.
dogs start barking or somebody rings the doorbell or whatever, we're live. So just bear with us.
By the way, I'm Cynthia St. Aubin, and I write, this week's topic is dear to my heart because I write light paranormal or funny paranormal. You can find me on my website, if you're watching this, you've already found me on Facebook, so lucky you. Twitter, anything like that, and my first book, Unlovable, is free, so feel free to check me out if you don't know me. Yes.
And I'm Sarah Hegger, and I write medieval and contemporary romance. Everything you need to know about me is on my website, sarahhegger.com. You can pick up links to everywhere else. You can pick up a link to my website there. And my first contemporary, Nobody's Angel, is also free across all platforms at the moment. And I don't know how long it's going to stay like that. So you want to pick it up. So let's just say hi to whoever's with us.
Yes, we have Mary McCoy. Hello, Mary.
Hi, Mary. She reversed the curse.
Yes. Oh, we have Charles Allen with us. Hello, Charles. Charles was our knight errant in Port Townsend this year for the signing. He was there to take great care of us and make sure everything went well. So,
hi, Charles.
A gentleman indeed.
And then we have Rebecca is with us. Rebecca, who did the lovely banner. Have we got the banner?
I put it.
Is it on the floor?
It's
Okay.
on the floor now.
It's on the floor, never to rise again.
Oh, Kerrigan says, I'm loving the dark lips. I think in themes, Kerrigan, vampires. So I wear vampy lipstick. See, I'm always thinking. You never know. You never know where I'm going to go with that kind of thing.
And Tamia is with us. Hi there.
Hello, Wendy Goldberry. Hello, Wendy. Patricia Smith, did we say? Oh, C.L. Partington. Hello, another fabulous author. If you haven't read C.L. Partington's books, you definitely should check her out.
So hi everybody, and before we go any further, last week when we were discussing alcohols, I kind of cringe every time I say that now. I
think if you put the word "hole"
I
on
know,
any
so
other word, the chances are it's going to be something that's like uncomfortable to say.
You said
Like jackhole,
exactly.
And,
So I said, and I messed up the intro last week, so I'm not going through that again. Let me just announce the winner. And it is Mary or Mahari Harrison. I'm sorry if I say that wrong. Your first name is spelled M-H-A-I-R-I and then Harrison. And you won a limited edition Sarah Hegger tote bag.
I can't forget to be Vanna.
No, we need the Vanna.
Ta-da!
And you won the alcohol
catching kit. Yes, yeah.
So
you don't want to go after an alcohol with your beta game. So
Yeah,
you got to bring it, ladies.
Got to have your lips. Got to have your lips on.
Yes.
So if you will either DM myself or Cynthia, and we will get an Addy from you, and we'll send that right off to you.
Yes, indeed. So to this week. Oh, should we do this week's contest?
We should do this week's contest, brought to you by the lovely Cynthia St. Aubin.
So I'm
going to Vanna this time.
That's right. Okay. So this week we will be talking about all things paranormal. So I have some lovely paranormal swag for you from myself and other authors. First of all, we have a lovely water or wine or other adult beverage koozie by EveLongley.com, who writes amazing, amazing shifter stories. So you should definitely check out Eve. We have a nice little notepad from Corinne Callahan, who writes amazing dragon shifter stories. And then we have, let's see, it's a little compact, courtesy,
cute.
isn't it, of Viola Grace.
It's really,
and
really
Zanina
cute.
Masters. And last, and certainly not least, we have a little Cynthia St. Aubin swag pack. I don't know if you can see this. There is a cute little undeadly keychain, which I think is upside down. And it's
super
got
cute.
little vampire teeth hanging off of it. Oh, that's, yeah. I didn't notice my business card was in there upside down. So anyway. And a signed copy of Unbearable, which is my novella about Goldilocks, the porn star, and 3 bear shifters. And, of course, in the Matilda Schmidt Paranormal Psychologist series. So
Perfect.
There we
so
go.
That's a great prize.
all you have to do to be entered to win that prize is just share our live video feed right now with your friends.
Actually, and let's get the word out there. We have started a YouTube channel.
We have.
2 Blondes on Books. So if you miss it and you want to watch it on YouTube, we will
that too.
upload it. So let's just say hello. We've got some more people.
Oh, yay.
Hi, Kat Miller. Hi, Lisa.
Yes.
Hi, Karina.
Oh, hello, Karina.
So hi, guys. Great
Kat
to have
Miller.
you with
Hello,
us.
Kat Miller.
Yeah.
Kat writes amazing books as well, so you should definitely check her out. Tammy Davis Whitner. Hello, Tammy. Mary McCoy. Lovely. Okay.
Team's all here. Team
Yes.
is all
Feel free to
here.
chime in. Tell us where you're watching from.
Yeah, and you know how if you watch the last 2 videos, you know how this works. We love your interaction.
Oh, yes, please.
That really makes this so much fun.
Oh.
And just a quick reminder that we throw roses here, not rocks. If you're going to say something crappy about somebody's book, rather refer to it obliquely, like I once read a book in which this happened and I hate that.
Yes.
But if you want to say something great about somebody's book, Cynthia and I are
Feel free
all
to
about
drop
that.
names, 'cause
Drop
we want
that
to share
name.
great books with everybody.
Yeah,
so.
we're all about
Kind of
that.
the point.
Exactly. So
Lovely.
let's get us kicked off. I actually had a little look on the RWA website. So we can,
RWA is the organization Romance Writers of America, and it's sort of for if you write romance of any kind, it's sort of a great repository of information.
absolutely. And we looked for them to define paranormal romance. So if this doesn't cover your definition and you're a purist, you may want to pour yourself a great stiff drink over the next half hour and just bear with us.
Yeah.
So they define paranormal romance as a novel that focuses on romance and includes elements beyond the range of scientific explanation, blending together themes from the genres of urban fantasy, traditional fantasy, science fiction, or horror. Now, I must say, if I was going to write anything other than romance, I would write high fantasy. I fell in love
totally
with
see
Anne
that.
McGathy's Dragon Riders of Pern, and I haven't recovered. I'm
love a
still,
dragon.
I mean, when I say I want a dragon, I don't mean like, oh, I'd like a dragon. No, I mean, I want a dragon.
She wants a
I
dragon.
really, really want a dragon. So anyway, let's talk paranormal romance.
Yay. So, should we start the big debate?
The big debate.
The big debate.
The big debate.
So
the biggest debate of all.
If you are a reader of paranormal romance, at some time you're going to come up against this question. Who is better, werewolves or vampires?
Werewolves or
Or
vampires?
vampires.
Wade in. We want to hear what you have
Yes,
to say.
we're asking you now. So perhaps we should start by just rating each one of those to our particular liking. So Sarah, on a scale of
From
1,
a twig,
which is a sad little twig, to 5,
being a mighty samurai sword.
double katana action here.
And we're calling the rating system this week the Mighty Sword rating
So
system.
on a scale of twig to katana, how would you rate vampires?
Oh, you know, there's vampires and there's vampires, right?
Yeah,
I'm gonna come down on side werewolf.
I knew we were friends for a reason.
Yeah, you know, okay, question. Let's go to some questions about.
You rate vampires.
Do I have to rate
You
them?
do.
Well, I think
It's all about the
I
rating
think
system.
I'm going to give them 3, and why? And I would give them a limp twig.
Ooh,
But I'm going to
ouch.
yeah. I'm going to give them a rapier because Cressley Cole writes some seriously hot vampires.
Okay, so we do have to talk about the vampire thing for just a second, because as far as first paranormal crushes go, we have to talk about the movie Interview with the Vampire. Anne Rice.
Okay, yes, we have to
Anne
talk about that.
Rice. I want to say 13 years old. Don't blame my mother. She knew I was precocious. I was allowed to read what I want. This is not her fault. So I started reading Interview with the Vampire, and then the movie came out. And I just want to say, there was a lot of controversy about Tom Cruise as Lestat, and I don't even know, to me, he was sort of side dressing, because Brad Pitt was the dude of the moment during that period of time, and he was a vampire named Louis from Louisiana, which actually is kind of funny when you think about it.
I'm just watching the stream while you're talking about that.
Yes. So yes, Interview with the Vampire. I was so obsessed. I saw that in the theater about 16 times, 17 times. And I went through this very, like, pre-emo phase where, like, I would bring the book with me everywhere, and, like, I have this vivid memory of my parents taking us all to Burger King for dinner, but I had to, like, make everybody aware of the fact that I was, you know, existentially tortured and, you know, dark like a vampire, and so I sat at a separate table eating my fries in a most desultory manner. So,
Okay.
yes.
So what rating are you giving vampires?
I'm gonna have to go with a solid 4.
Oh, a 4.
Yeah, a 4.
Dagger.
A dagger.
A
A
4
dagger.
is a dagger. Okay.
Yes, because honestly, I do have a love affair with vampires. They were my first paranormal crush. Brad Pitt is Louis. I do. I have to give him a 4.
Okay, but now here I got some questions around vampires, right?
Yes.
Okay, now this question's a little delicate, okay, and it involves the male physiognomy, right? If you don't have a heartbeat, right?
Right.
And you don't have blood pumping,
Yes.
we have a liftoff issue. Now,
So we're talking like that.
So we are talking like a limp twig. So the liftoff issue, it concerns me.
So we're talking from like a scientific, physical sort. Well, they did say, the RW did say that it's beyond scientific explanation.
Beyond such okay, but now Cressley Cole explained it. She's the one person that really explained it really well to me.
Right.
Like, apparently in her Immortals After Dark series, which if you haven't read, amazing.
Yes.
If the vampire meets his soulmate, then his heartbeat starts up again. Right? So then he's got heartbeat, then he's got blood flow, then I'm like, oh, okay, that's all right. And also,
we have to read some of these comments.
Okay,
I have to interrupt you. Karen says, let's hear it for magic boners! Yay! Well, we'll have to talk about that too, because there is a certain point in paranormal, and anybody who writes in paranormal has this point where they come to, you know, a crossroads, and they're just sort of like, because magic! That's the benefit of writing paranormal, so... Charles, a ghost holds it up. Now, I think we've gotten into the realm of like paranormal menage a trois at that point. If you've got a
exactly.
ghost,
Yes. Yeah.
Oh my
and
God.
are they cold to touch? This is the other thing.
Ectoplasm. Mary McCoy says ectoplasm gets the job done. Now I'm having a vision of ectoplasm.
But now I've gone
makes me-
ick. You said ectoplasm, and I saw Ghostbusters.
I'm a
Well,
Slimer.
I'm a
I'm a
Slimer.
Slimer.
I was like ick. No, ick.
That's fine, right up until it's time for anyway.
Yeah,
we'll
okay.
just- I'll leave that there.
Hey, Sean Hampton
Hi,
is with us.
Sean.
And Sean says that vampires get the jobs done
Now,
through rigor mortis.
You were telling me once that Sean dressed up as a vampire, didn't he?
Yes, Sean.
Didn't he? A version of
did.
Blade for a certain event?
He did for the Romantic Times Book Lovers Convention. Sean came in the door dressed like Blade. Sean, if you don't know, he's an actor, first of all,
Yes.
but he also does some cover model work, and his Blade was beautiful. Maybe Sean will do us a favor and drop the image in the comments for us
Oh.
later, so we can all
wouldn't
salivate
mind
together.
that, Sean. We wouldn't mind that
Sean, you
at
have
all.
our permission to
Yes,
put the
please,
image in the
please.
comments section.
Yes.
Okay, so what else? Who's wading in on this?
Viagra for vamps, they love. Oh, yep, he says, I did Blade at RT in Vegas. I am very sorry I missed that conference. But I hear there was a lot to be, there was a lot to be missed, yeah.
There was a lot to be missed.
Yes.
So that's my issue. But you know, Karina had a very good question about female vampires.
Yes.
She wanted to know, if vampires can't see themselves in the mirror, how do they do their makeup?
Ooh, that's a good question.
It's a very good question.
See, this is why I could never be a vampire, because, you know, as little makeup as I clearly wear, I'm a woman who prefers to look natural.
As you can see. Clearly you'd see.
Right. Maybe they just hire makeup artists.
There we go. Or
I could
maybe
do
they're
that.
just naturally beautiful.
Oh,
maybe
there is
just
that.
they wake up
Again,
looking like
because
that.
magic,
yeah,
right?
they wake up looking like
Yes,
that. Exactly.
yeah.
So who I would like to actually hear from you guys.
Yes.
What's your favorite vampire movie? The best one, the
Yes.
one that you like.
Who was the best movie vampire you've ever seen? And I guess we could branch that out, since we are blondes on books. The best book vampire. The best vampire, full stop.
Best vampire, full stop. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wade in on
Books,
who was your
movie.
favorite. I'm going to come straight out and say, because I'm a big Cressley Cole fan, I'm going to say Lothair. He was just... And also, somebody remind me, Nalini Singh's Archangel series, there was a vampire in there that is just, and I've forgotten his name, and he is just gorgeous. So if anybody can remind me of that vampire's name, I would be delighted.
So I'm gonna have to go with my girl Kerrigan Byrne here because she says Luke Evans, Dracula Untold, and for me that is 100% yes. Like if I can do the audition thing again, like Luke Evans in that movie, I'd give him a solid 9.
Solid 9.
I won't go 10 because I will not hold up a twig in that man's presence because he is all dagger and katana. Yes, yeah, because Luke Evans, right?
Because Luke Evans, right?
Dracula, Bram Stoker. Oh, yes. You know, people are sort of, there's a lot of differing opinions about the Bram Stoker's Dracula, the movie, right?
Yeah.
Gary Oldman, which for me would not have been my first choice to play Dracula, but man, does that guy have presence. He really does.
Gary Oldman has a lot of, he is very dark. He has that kind of like dark
He had that
thing
tortured,
going.
like...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. No, so he, you know, he really, really worked for me. I'm actually trying to think. I've gone kind of blank. I wasn't a big Twilight fan. I didn't like the Spike. My favorite vampire, actually, of all kind is Spike. From Buffy.
From Buffy. Solid choice.
You know, I don't know, there was something about Spike's attitude that I just loved, and I was firmly on Team Spike.
Right.
I can't believe what they did to Spike in the end. I was really pissed off about that. So, and you see, the thing about, I go with werewolves because I kind of like that they are warm, they are strong.
They're hot-blooded and passionate and...
But do they have bad breath?
This is a good question because if you eat a steady diet of meat...
Yeah, and anybody who's left meat too long in the fridge, over here, you know,
Yeah,
not a great smell. Not a great smell.
Yeah, so let's talk about shifters because we've talked about vampires. So let's move on to shifters. I think we both said we are werewolf over vampire. So clearly, I mean, both of us, I feel like, would give werewolves what?
A 5.
A 5?
A 5.
I
yeah.
would.
An absolute.
What about you guys?
A solid 5.
Where do werewolves rank on the rating scale? From we didn't even hold all of these.
We
up.
didn't.
2 would be little cocktail wiener swords maybe, and 3
is a rapier.
Is a foil, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, rapier foil,
foil.
little
Yeah,
sticky
fancy,
thingy one. Is a 4 is a solid dagger
Yeah.
of destruction.
Yes.
And 5 is a set of mighty swords.
Yes.
Mighty swords.
Yes. Oh, yes. Kerrigan? Okay, back to vampires for one hot second. Kerrigan Byrne points out that the Dracula in Petty Dreadful was really hot. So he really was. Petty Dreadful, if you've never watched that series, is just, it is like the paranormal lover's absolute, like, showgasm, if I can use that word.
And Charles is going with werewolves from the underworld movies.
Okay.
Tanya's with me
5.
on Spike.
Charles, did 4 have mac and cheese on the back?
Yes, it does. My daughter makes these every week, and
this is duct tape with macaroni and it's macaroni and cheese printed duct tape. So yes, but I mean this might actually be the highest rating of all.
The mac and cheese, yes.
It's as delicious
the
as
comfort
mac and cheese.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
So we've now got a better rating.
Yes.
So Kimberly has joined us. Hi, Kimberly Faye. Nice to see you. Carly says that I make a good point that werewolves are warm and vampires are cold. Because, you know, a little...
Can I just say the G word?
Say the G word.
Gynecologist. Anybody that's been to a gynecologist...
Oh, yeah, I was wondering where she was going with this one, but
cold
no way.
Instruments.
Cold
I'm just
saying.
I'm sorry I had to go there, but I'm just saying.
That's way up there with the ectoplasm.
Temperature is important. I'm just... Don't judge me, okay? You know you're thinking it. You know you are.
So let's go through some of our paranormal characters, and you guys, and we'll all rate them, okay? So let's do that for a little bit.
Yes.
Before we do that, let's see.
So shifters, right? Werewolves are one kind of shifters.
Okay, so let's weigh in on other shifters. Big cats, wolves, normal wolves.
What kind of shifter would you be if you could choose to be a shifter? Like what?
I'd have to go with a wolf.
Would you?
Yeah. You?
I'm thinking maybe bear because bear, you get to hibernate for several months at a time. Nobody wakes you. You don't have to shave your legs. If your legs are furry, you're a bear. Who cares, right? You can growl at people. They're like, yeah, it's a bear. Of course it's going to growl. So growling,
Okay.
no shaving, and sleeping for months at a time.
So Cynthia's going with bear.
Bear
What
would
are
be
you going
first
with?
choice. Yes. What would you, we're asking you now, if you could be any kind of shifter, what kind of shifter would you be and why?
Mary Myers, we will get to dragons. We put them
We are-
in their own category
Yes,
because they're having a bit of
dragons
a
have their own
moment at the
category.
moment.
Ooh, Kerrigan says panther. Why panther, Kerrigan? We want to know. Wolf, bear, or tiger? Yeah.
Okay, Terry
Yeah.
says wolf, bear, or tiger. So if you would like to, so what kind of other paranormal characters do we have? We have the shifters, we have the vampires, we have the archangels. Nalini Singh's Archangels series, unbelievable. If you're not familiar with Raphael, I mean, he's way up there with one of my best book boyfriends ever.
What do we have?
What
Like
else?
you said, dragons. Dragons are definitely having a moment right now.
Dragons are having a moment.
Yes.
The only thing, and I love dragons, don't get
Yeah.
me wrong,
Yeah.
because like Dragon Ride is a Pern best series ever.
Mm-hmm.
But how, I really have a problem with, you start off so small and then you kind of transform so big. And then I just wonder, where do all those bones come when you transform? Where do you pack all that stuff back in again?
Again,
Magic. And I kind of, for me, with any paranormal, I have to have a little bit more of a scientific explanation.
I tend to do that as well in my world building because I feel like for me, I want it to be at least somewhat plausible. I have to resolve the issue enough that somebody's not saying, well, how the hell would that happen? So what do we have?
Kimberly would like to shift into
Hi,
a cheetah.
Kimberly Faye, by the way, is also another excellent writer. We're going to talk about mythological creatures, too, because that sort of falls within the realm of paranormal. But Kimberly Faye writes a lovely series about the fates, which is
And Denise
fantastic.
agrees with me on Raphael.
Yeah.
Right, Denise?
Yeah.
I mean, isn't he
Fairies,
just
demons.
smoking?
Yes, okay, yep.
Fairies. We didn't
Oh,
include
look, Kat
fairies.
Smith. Morning all from
New Zealand.
Woo!
Hi, Kat.
It's
Good
a-
morning. Have you got
Yeah.
your coffee there?
Yes.
So we are going to, and does anybody know of a book with elves in it? Because, okay.
Not Christmas elves, right?
No, yes, not the ones with all red.
Because
I'm talking
actually,
about
we're talking about like
Legolas type elves. Has
Yes.
anybody ever written one of those? Because I seriously think Legolas is going
Well,
to get this
here's the
katanas
question,
and the
though.
mac and cheese.
Elves are sort of beyond the pale of like human biology, but are they more fantasy? Elves usually get lumped in with like high fantasy and things
They do.
like that.
They do.
And not so much the
Paranormal.
But I kind of think that would be amazing.
That would be.
Like
So somebody
we've heard of
needs to
fairies and fae, right? Karen Marie Monet
Exactly.
writes
Exactly.
about
So
that.
somebody needs to get on the elf thing. Come, people.
Yeah.
On the elf thing.
Yeah, there is nothing
Sarah
wrong with
wants to
Legolas.
read about elves.
Yes.
Okay, so Mary Myers would be a cat, one that is clumsy.
Dude, that would be amazing to be a cat. Like, think about it. You get to lay down in somebody's lap. It's all nice and warm. They give you a scratch. They give you treats. And you can treat them like shit. And they will still love you because this is what cats do, right? They're basically just furry little assholes.
So Connie says Laurel K. Hamilton has a series. Is that an elf series? Is that what you're saying? Is that she's got an elf
Janine.
series?
We see Janine.
M.A. Abraham writes, thank you, C.I. Is that C.I.? I haven't got my glasses on. She writes that M.A. Abraham writes about
Lovely.
elves.
Fabulous. Sea elves.
Jinns and or genies.
Ooh.
That's another. What do we feel
Dark
about jinns?
elves in a share. Ooh, jinns or genies. That's kind of cool.
Jinns or genies? What do we think about jinns or genies?
Depends on if they really grant wishes or not, because
Problem with genies is I'm going to have to give them a cocktail wiener.
Ouch.
Because I keep seeing Robin Williams as the blue
Oh,
genie in Aladdin,
yeah.
you know?
It is sort of hard to get away
that
from
head
that.
out, I can't get that out of my head.
yeah.
So jinns, genies, we also wrote down ghosts. What do you feel about ghosts? I mean, you have to wait a long time for those scenes because the ghost has to actually
Either she has to die, like
and
one of
become
them
a
has
ghost,
to
and then
die
they have
and then
ghost sex, or he has to materialize.
Right.
I
Take
mean,
over somebody else's body.
ew,
Okay, who else
ew.
out there? I'm
No,
just gonna
that's ick.
I'm
No.
gonna throw this reference out. Ghost. Do you remember the movie Ghost?
Yeah,
with
but
Patrick Swayze.
I do, but like, am I the only person that sort of got the ick at that point? You know,
in the very first part, but after like she closed her eyes and like it was just all him, then it was okay again. It was a
Yeah.
little weird. The Whoopi Goldberg.
yeah.
Demi Moore thing was a little weird.
It was weird. No, it
Not-
weirded me
it's
out
just-
a little bit.
Yeah.
Just the combination of those two.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. Is that particular combination?
Yeah, that didn't work for me. So I really had to kind of look past that.
Yes. Yeah. Not the Robin Williams kind of genie. I love it. By the way, if you're just joining us, this week's contest, don't forget to share this video, share this live feed. We want to try to round up as many book lovers as we can to join our discussion. So that's all you have to do is share this live feed on your page to be entered in this week's contest.
Fantastic. So, Terry.
The
now
Shannara
Terry,
Chronicles,
oh,
yes.
Terry Brooks, what a great
Oh,
writer.
man.
Now,
Yeah.
if you want to laugh, I mean, perfect. Absolutely.
Yes.
Tammy's talking about, yes, Immortals After Dark does have that female ghost, and she was a dancer, right? She was in New Orleans, and she was attached to a house.
Yes.
That
think
yes,
so.
is that the one?
Yeah.
And also, Immortals After Dark has the Valkyries, which are
So Valkyries sort of does bring us around to like Norse mythology and Greek mythology. So, of course, if we're talking Norse mythology, we have to talk Thor and Loki.
Thor versus Loki. I mean, who? Okay, vote. Thor versus Loki. We want to
Thor
hear
or
your
Loki.
opinion.
I am totally a Loki girl.
I must say, I am as well. I am as well. I am in as far as
It's
the
that
as
wicked sense of humor. It's that sort
Bad
of
boy.
dark, mischievous sort of, you know,
yeah, it's that bad boy thing again.
the trickster, the, you know.
Exactly.
Not that Thor is not visually appealing in the movies,
Yes,
especially, you
he
know,
is,
as played
Thor,
by...
Thor is attractive.
Yes, but
Let-
he
let us
doesn't.
agree.
If you notice, Loki has the best lines. He has the
He
best
does,
lines.
He does.
Right?
But often the villain has the best lines.
Don't you think?
Yeah,
I
and
love-
often
I
the
love writing
villains.
villains for
Yes,
that
I was
reason.
about to say exactly the same thing. Often the villains are the most fun
Interesting.
characters to write.
Okay,
yeah.
we have people carrying in Loki forever. Rebecca
So-
Poole is on the Loki team. Tammy says Thor looks Loki in personality. Now there's something to be.
Yes, there we go.
considered.
Comedic shifting would be so funny to read about, like shifting into things that just cause all kinds of havoc. That's what Kimberly says. Like a curse. That's a great idea, Kimberly.
is,
Like, so we have a
yes.
character who's cursed to shift into all sorts of things that they don't know how to get back out of again. I love that. What
I
a
like
great
the way
idea.
Diane Knipe is thinking. Can't I have both and be the meat in that man sandwich?
Yes, you can.
Yes.
We give you permission. You
Yes.
certainly can.
I'd be all right with that, a Thor and Loki sandwich.
So we're loving elves, we're loving dragons. We're a little iff on ghosts, wizards, witches, warlocks, spellcasters. How do
So
you feel about this?
you know I have a soft spot for witches because I write the Witches of Port Townsend series with 3 other lovely authors, Kerrigan Byrne, who's with us and been commenting today, Tiffany Helmer, and Cindy Stark. Witches are so much fun because the idea of them being able to manipulate the physical world via some sort of power or what have you, I feel like is kind of, and they get spells, right? Spells are cool.
And I like that witches are basically kick-ass chicks.
They are.
You know, you can't, yeah. They're basically, I like the fact that they have all that power.
So if you were a witch and you could make up one spell, what spell would yours be? If it were, say, banishing acne, or what would your spell be?
I'd probably banish wrinkles. Now, just give me a second. I'm going to explain to Cynthia what a wrinkle is, because clearly she has no idea. Unless she's been watching my face, in which case she knows what a wrinkle is. But
Right.
okay, so let's go back. So I
heard there were other people for banishing wrinkles, though. Like, you know, with like shots and stuff. People do that.
people do that.
They
They
do.
do. Lots of people do that. So we're getting a lot of people are saying.
See, Charles was there, as I mentioned earlier. He was there in Port Townsend for our book signing. We do a yearly book release in Port Townsend, a reader's weekend, and Charles was there. So Port Townsend witches are the best. I don't disagree with you at all, Charles.
There we
World
go.
Peace. Carly Compass would do World Peace.
Now,
What spell?
now you put me to shame, Carly. I was wishing for wrinkles, and you
know
went
what?
with world
I'm about
peace.
to make you feel better. My spell would be making my thighs the same size sitting down as they are standing up.
Wouldn't that be so
Wouldn't
cool?
it be cool?
That would be
You
seriously
sit down,
cool.
there's no like expansion and spreading.
Or like when you do. And what's lovely is that I can see myself on 2 screens,
Doing that, yes,
giving
yeah.
myself a little
So,
thingamajig there.
yeah,
whatever
Carly
we
says
call it.
world peace. What other kind of spells would you guys cast? If you could cast a spell, any spell, what spell would you cast and why? I'm curious.
Marlene says all shelter dogs would be adopted. Marlene, yes, absolutely.
Yes.
As a woman after
All
my
shelter
own heart,
dogs, all
I
shelter-
love
oh my
dogs.
gosh,
I'm
yes.
such a dog person.
My husband lives in mortal fear of my one day actually becoming the crazy cat lady because I am so like tender-hearted when it comes to strays and helping animals and such.
So Mary said she would like bubble feet so that she doesn't step on Lego. Children in the house, perhaps, Mary?
That's
I love
hilarious.
it.
Mary has 2 adorable twin granddaughters.
Ah,
They're probably not playing with Legos yet. But
Okay,
yes.
it comes. But
Ooh,
Duplo hurts.
Dead spell. Karina, that sounds very ominous.
Yeah,
Is
Karina,
there-
that's a little dark, girl. You're going to
who
have
are
to
we-
explain that a little bit.
What are we casting death upon? Unless it's like,
Carly has recovered from her world peace answer, and she says
non-caloric food.
Yes, Carly. No,
Yes.
you're thinking properly. Now you got your head on straight, girl.
Charles says banishing heartbreak. That would be very, very. Think of all the money you could make. See, look at me turning it like an altruistic sort of suggestion
exactly.
into like a how could I
make money
monetize
about
this?
that? How could I make money out of that?
There'd be
Yes.
plenty of people who'd be about banishing the heartbreak.
Jeff says, hello, ladies. Hi, Jeff.
Hello, Jeff.
Yeah, Karina, I'm going to need some explanation on this dead spell, girl.
Yeah. Yep.
And Tabby says, all chocolate would taste great, but not add pounds or raise the blood sugar. Yes, you're with Carly.
Think. Yes. Cat Smith, transportation so I can visit my family in the UK when I want it, but still live in New Zealand.
Yeah.
I've said that actually a lot. Like, somebody needs to invent a teleporter so that you can just be where you want to be without the hassle of traveling.
My family's mostly in South Africa, and it's just with the different seasons from winter to winter, and when we're in winter, they're in summer, and the school years don't run the same, so it all gets very, very complicated. So one of those would be good as well. So we could cast a spell that way too. Tammy would like to cure all illness from kids.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
I like that. That's excellent. That would
again
be
worthy.
That's very worthy.
Very worthy.
And unselfish.
And you've silenced. You silenced the
Suddenly,
peanut
I'm
gallery.
not feeling so okay about my thigh size.
No, or my wrinkle spell.
Yeah.
Okay, so what else have we got here? We've got little notes here which we're having a look at to see what else. What
we
other
didn't touch
shifters?
on Greek mythological creatures or any kind of,
Yes.
because I myself in the series that I write, the Matilda Schmidt paranormal series, paranormal psychologist series, I do have a demigod.
Oh right, yes.
And has sort of the best and worst characteristics of both men and, Zeus is his father. So he's got, he has particular powers that come in handy with the ladies. I'm trying to think of like other Greek mythological creatures that are interesting. Centaurs, I haven't really seen.
Well, remember last week we were talking about Gemma's book? She was using the Muses.
The Muses, yes.
And she was using those.
And I mentioned Kimberly Fay, who writes about the Fates. There's some really interesting there.
Which actually would lead us into the section of this video which we call shameless ass kissing and name dropping.
Well, because as an author, one of the great things you get to do is meet other authors who you love and whose work you love. And actually, we have a couple note cards because there's so many people that we really love who write paranormal that it's like almost impossible to mention them all by name. But just a few, the funny thing about genres in romance is that every genre has subgenres as well. So even within paranormal, you have like light paranormal, which is sort of more what I write, which is kind of like romantic comedy and paranormal combined, which is sort of fun. But there are several ladies who write amazing shifter series, and other paranormal stuff. Dorinda Jones, for one.
Dorinda Jones. I mean, Reyes Farrow is, like I said, I want a dragon. I want Reyes in the same way.
He is hot. Like, melt your face hot.
Just in the pavement. Melt
Yes.
its pavement.
Yeah.
Reyes is getting a fine. I think that we're going to have to just add a little more to Reyes there. Yes? Anybody else a Reyes fan?
Let's see. Robin Peterman writes an amazing shifter series that starts with Shift Happens, which is hilarious.
That I don't know Robin at all. I know Shelley Lawrenson.
Fantastic.
She writes
Shelley Lawrenson.
She writes great shifters. I like the fact that all her female wolves have huge feet.
Oh yes. I have to pick up this too, just because I'm seeing this now. Berserkers. Berserkers we have not talked about.
Oh, I've never read Berserkers.
Kerrigan Byrne, who happens to be my critique partner and platonic life partner as well. She writes this amazing series of Berserkers, starting with Unspoken, which is really cool because they sort of have a beast that lives within them. And the beast,
Oh, wow.
like when the beast recognizes his mate, like his berserker recognizes his mate, it has like this deep rumbly purr, which is oddly really hot when you read about it.
Oh,
and once
that's
they
not great.
recognize their mate, there's nothing they can do about it. So that's it's yeah. So Kerrigan Byrne's Berserker series, I highly recommend if you're into the Berserkers, which I am.
Is it Tammy? Is that how you pronounce her
I
name?
believe so, yes.
Okay, Tammy is saying Dark Dreamers by Sherilyn Kenyon.
Sherilyn Kenyon, yes.
Yeah, there's
she
another
is
great
amazing.
name.
Yes.
Rebecca agrees with you that Robin is amazing.
She is amazing. Yeah. So please weigh in with your favorite paranormal.
Yeah, Cressley
authors
Cole.
too.
I mean, I've talked about her a lot. I mean, she's just her Immortal to After Dark series is. I mean, who doesn't love Nucking Fut's Nix?
Uh-huh.
And I so want Nucking Fut's Nix's story, and it's just not coming.
Right.
Cressley,
Yes.
could you write that now, please?
Yes.
Somebody tag Cressley so she gets that.
Dakota Cassidy, I love. She also writes hilarious stories about. Hers is sort of the accidental series, so it's accidental werewolves and vampires and all manner of other creatures.
Those I
they
don't
are
know.
hilarious. Yes. Melanie James writes Amazing Witches. She has a series about.
I love me some witches.
Yes,
Really like
yes,
some witches.
yeah.
Karen Marie Moaning. I mean, we don't know what the hell
Classic,
Jericho
of course.
Barons is, but we
like
want him anyway,
We want
right?
him. Yes, yeah.
Millie
Millie Taden, her shifter stories are absolutely fabulous, and I love them.
Nalini Singh,
Of
her
course,
Side
yes.
Changeling series, and of course we've spoken about Raphael. And if you've ever, I don't know if you've had the privilege of meeting Nalini Singh.
Yes.
She is the sweetest, humblest, loveliest lady. You know,
She
you
really
want to go
is.
to her. Do you know who you are? It seems to me the only person who doesn't know who Nalini Singh is Nalini Singh
Right,
herself.
yeah.
Just such a lovely lady.
Yes.
Really, I just, I was a huge fan of her work, and then meeting her just made it so much. She's
Yeah.
lovely.
Yes.
Just lovely.
Yes.
So should we go to the phones again?
Shall we? Yes.
Gina Showalter. Yes.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Great.
Definitely. Yes.
J.R. Ward.
How could we forget
the
J.R.
Black
Ward?
the Black Dagger
Brotherhood. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, thank you for that reminder. Amazing,
Yes.
amazing series. See, you know what I love about that series is it takes a vampire mythology, she puts her own twist on it, and she makes it, she doesn't just go magic. She actually puts some real, I can hang my hat on those facts.
Right.
And then I can just actually relax and go with the story once I've stopped questioning suspect directions. Okay, so
I'm having a visual of that.
are you having?
Questioning suspect directions.
So then we have who we get Gail Carriger.
That's a new name to me, Gail
That's a
Carriger.
completely new name to me. She's a steampunk
Victoria
paranormal.
Zack, yes, Dragon Shifting series.
T.S. Joyce. We have yes, and Tammy's also waiting for the Nucking Fut's next story. I mean, right?
Christine Feehan, yes.
Oh,
yes,
absolutely.
yes,
Sorry,
yes, yes.
Christine.
Yes,
You should
thank
have
you
been
for that,
right
Marlene.
there. Delilah Dawson and Julie Kenner.
Julia Lake Mills, yep, absolutely. I know, Robin Peterman stories are so much fun. I absolutely adore Robin Peterman. If you've ever seen us together, we go to RTC in Canada every year, and it's hilarious because she's so tiny and petite, and I am not.
Well, because
and it's...
you're tall. That's all. We couldn't say you are still petite. You're just tall.
She's being very kind. But she's another one of those lovely, friendly, kind people, Robin Peterman.
And I'm seeing names that I don't know here, guys. This is fantastic because I've got a big enough TBR list, but there's always space for somebody more.
Yes, Lindsay Sands, yes.
Julia Lake Mills. Mills.
Yep.
Is that a name you know?
Yes, it is, Julia Lake Mills. I sure do.
Not a name I know.
Yep.
Christian
Sherry Priest, yeah.
Sherry Priest, yeah. I mean, so many
So
fantastic. Oh, and while I am shamelessly ass-kissing and name-dropping, my friend Juliet Cross has... Is
that upside down?
It is. You can't really see it. She has a book coming out, and it is... Oh, it's completely upside down. This is
Clearly, I need to
Dragon
be more
Heartstring.
Ooh.
And it is
I
a
love the
prequel.
cover.
It is such a beautiful, moody prequel. And Juliet writes she writes several lovely series. The first ones that I read was about her Demon Hunter series. Those are absolutely fantastic. I don't want to tell you anything about that because there's so many spoilers in this. It's one of those books that are so intense. It's like full of spoilers. But if you want to check out Juliet's Dragon Heartstring,
Oh,
there
yes.
she is.
And Tammy said S.E. Smith, who, by the way, is also amazing. And I had the pleasure of meeting her at a couple conferences too. She's just the friendliest, most kind, amazing lady when you talk to her too. But she writes some amazing shifters as well, S.E. Smith does. So.
Yeah, Terry, we know it's backwards. Unfortunately, unless we print it in the reverse, we can't do anything about that backwards thing. So
Yes.
I'm just trying to show you the visual so you can look. But maybe if Juliet would like, I can tag her afterwards. Maybe she'll drop a link for us.
Yes.
Gosh, we've got so many names going on here. And just check out all these wonderful, wonderful names. So what did we agree today? Shall we just wrap up quickly? Where did we do? We came out werewolves over vampires, and I'm sorry if you're in the vampire camp.
We came out werewolves over
We
vampires.
said
There was a
werewolves
very
over
strong
vampires.
vampire camp, which I will grant you. Yes, I can see why.
Exactly. Ghosts, iffy.
Ghost sex is weird. I think we came to that conclusion that ghost sex is weird.
We need more elves and dragons.
We need more elves and dragons.
And I think I want to write dragons next. I've got kind of dragon story going around in my head.
You do.
We need more witches.
More witches. Always more witches. More witches! Monty Python!
I know. But
tell me you know this.
Of course I know Monty
You
Python.
better know
I do Monty Python.
What do we... More witches! Sorry. I'm nerding out over here. Geeking out.
So we didn't decide whether we liked Greek or Norse mythology. We still need to weigh in on that. But I think Loki came out above Thor. Although Thor's hotness was generally acknowledged, Loki came out above him.
Loki came out on top.
You all agreed with me that vampire erections were an issue. And you're never going to forget that. I've now put a little earworm. You're welcome. And I think
I think
is
that
that
pretty
about
much
us?
covers everything.
We've waffled on long enough.
I think we have, yes.
And we're going to leave you with that great thought of ours that, it is said that gentlemen prefer blondes.
Because blondes know what gentlemen prefer.
Okay, guys. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you for joining us.
Great fun. Have a fantastic weekend.
That's right.
Bye-bye.
See ya.